So I hope everybody is well. I'd had several topics that I was going to talk about today. It seems to have whittled itself down to patience and trusting. The reasoning for this is if we look at what's happening on the global stage, we are going through some unprecedented times. There's upheaval, and society is changing almost on a moment by moment basis, and this is also being mirrored on the individual level as well. And my conversations with friends and people who attend talks, and even my own personal experiences, that the last couple of months have seen a massive amount of growth in myself and in people around me, and it's brought up some insights which I wanted to share today. And it's fun. And what I'd like to do is try to kind of almost adequately explain what's actually happening, in the hope that it'll offer some pointers. I've noticed over the last couple of months, obviously there's been a lot of change. The way my videos are being presented, the way I'm presenting my work as well, has been changing, and it's being commented on. What has been absolutely lovely for those who've been following my work is I've been moving through several topics. And recently, only a couple of days ago, I was talking to a friend of mine and said that I've been talking a lot about not knowing, and yet what I'm finding is in that not knowing there is a knowing that's starting to emerge. Now what's really beautiful is that knowing that's emerging is emerging at the speed and the pace it wishes to, and it's completely outside my control, which is basically meaning that I'm having to surrender more and more and actually having to trust life. What I've found with that is that being in that place of no choice, but watching this choice starting to emerge, this knowing starting to emerge, has meant that I've had to trust the process so much more. And I've had to be patient, because as many of you know, I can be quite impatient. And sometimes I really want things to happen on my clock. And what life is now showing me is that, no, this is a process, and it will happen as and how it needs to, independent of whatever you think. And I think that's something that we all suffer from, because there is our plan for what we believe our life should be, and then there is life's plan. And invariably life's plan offers much more wisdom, much more insight, and so much more if we would but trust. And it's very easy to say, look, trust, but what you can find is, as you deepen your trust and as you become more and more patient about this reality that you are, you will find that there is even more of a letting go. And that letting go can occur as and how it needs to. Sometimes that letting go can be quite difficult, and we want to hold on to our old ideas, our old paradigms, because they offer us comfort. But if we allow ourselves to just be open and allow ourselves to really just be in that process, we may find that letting go will occur so much more naturally. Because as I say, and no doubt you've all heard, what you resist persists. If we stop trying to resist and allow ourselves to just be taken on this journey, on this ride, whatever you want to call it, we may find that it always just works out, and impossible situations, things that we never thought we could possibly do, understandings that we thought we would never get, can just literally fall into our lap. Why? Because we are moving in alignment with life, because we see that we're not separate from that. And what we find is that life is efficient. This moment is completely efficient. I remember, I was in Slovenia about a year ago, and I was talking to the host, and I remember her saying to me that if she had to sit on a sofa for 2 years and just wait for the relevant inspiration to occur, that was absolutely fine. And I remember just thinking, wow, what trusting. And yet, if we were all to do that, to live from that place of trusting, we may find that we achieve more, we're able to do more, and we're able to understand more as well. But for that, we also need to be patient, and we need to be trusting that the process is doing what it needs to do. So there's all these ideas of all these videos I want to do, and then sometimes what can happen is that there'll be this flurry of activity, and then it will just go quiet. So for example, today, I was planning to do a video on misunderstanding and miscommunication. And what's actually happened is that I've tried to record it and nothing's really come out that I've felt happy with, and instead now I'm talking about trusting and patience. And as I'm speaking, I know that I'm not doing an adequate job, but if I just trust, I'm sure the right thing will be said and it will be heard, or however it's heard, by the right person, and life will just do what it needs to do. And like I said, this is happening to a lot of people. There's a lot of people who are now starting to go through these changes. They're literally waking up one person, going to bed another person. And it's important in that space to just allow yourself to be open, allow yourself to really just trust that whatever life is doing is completely right for you, because it will give you the insights and the understandings. And to have patience. Like I said, I mean, there's so many situations that sometimes I would like resolved straight away, and they don't. And what I find is further down the line they get resolved in ways that I could possibly never have seen myself. And it's really made me realize that this reality, this thing called life, realization, whatever you want to call it, is completely and utterly efficient. And if we just allow ourselves to be in that moment, whatever the moment comes up, if the moment tells you to go for a walk, go for a walk. If the moment tells you to sit down, sit down. If the moment creates such activity in you that you are literally just moving from situation to situation and people and places at such a rapid pace, but it's what the moment is demanding, then really just go with that instead of trying to resist. So yesterday I had an absolutely incredible day. It was, I was talking to everybody, I was getting work done, and today felt like a calmer day. And yet in that calmness, just as much has been achieved. And I found that by trusting what's going on at the moment, as I said, on a global level and on an individual level, we may find that this presents us a huge opportunity to deepen our trust in what we truly are, to deepen our patience, and to really see that we aren't this limited body mind or this story that's going on. And what's beautiful is also the joy as well of not knowing, and those beautiful moments when we have those ahas where we realize that, oh, I didn't know that, I know. And it reminds me of, I believe it's a Socrates quote of, I know nothing. And what I've found is, as I've gone further and further down the trail, that life continuously shows me how little I know. And yet at the same time, life continuously shows us how much we truly are and who we really are. And I think when we try to jump in the way of that, or try to understand that, or try to control that, or become impatient with the process, or don't trust, we do ourselves a huge disservice. So yeah, no doubt there will be other videos like this. I tend to start off with this whole idea of I'm going to record a certain topic, but then something else comes along. And I love the fact that life is presenting all these different scenarios and then doing what it needs to do in the most efficient way possible. So yes, allow yourself to be open, allow yourself to be trusting of whatever life is bringing up. Allow yourself to deepen in your trusting and in your patience. And what you may find is that in meeting life, what you're really meeting is yourself.